Well, Billy, we were right. We were right in everything we've said. All the doomsday, all the absolute bollocks we've spouted, all of the pushback we've got from one particular person who I will not name because they will enjoy it too much. And it'll actually pain them for me to not name that silly motherfucker. Shouldn't be swearing that early in the intro if I know anything about YouTube, which I don't. But yeah, so our past couple of episodes have been quite, well, focusing on the negatives in the industry, and that's because there's not been that many positives realistically. Obviously, we spoke on like the excitement around CS2, which did indeed come out and was interesting for a bit, but forced everyone to play on Dust 2 the whole time. So now it's getting like 530 people watching it on Twitch and stuff like it's completely crushed interest in it for now. But that promises to be something exciting, something to look forward to. With the last CS major coming up, it adds even more flavour and I guess urgency and weight to the major. But apart from that, everything's gone to shit. as we've said, like it's not going to go well. Things need to change.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a big fat correction, so I feel like anyone that keeps harping on about doomsday, like fucking hell. Like, as journalists, like I was saying this before, like you have to report on what's actually going on. And I've tried in what I've written to try and at least get some way to fixing some of the issues, or like thinking about them in the right way at least. But yeah, when you talk about actual
stuff,
but when you're actually talking about just like what's happened, that's what people watch us for. Like what's happened is basically everything. Like you said, there isn't actually that much good news or nothing that's so good that it's notable and you want to talk about it. Most of it has been pretty bad.
Yeah. You could say like GameSquare, which owns Complexity, going live on the Nasdaq. That's a positive thing, but also
look at the fucking state of the other public companies. Yeah. So
the companies that every esports company that goes on the Nasdaq basically faces like being delisted.
Existential threat. They did something cool actually. I wrote a story for ESI yesterday. They partnered. I guess it's Dallas Cowboys really, but the Dallas Cowboys, I know, like they own, or the owner of the Dallas Cowboys
Jerry
is like
Jones
a
co-owner of GameSquare,
but they launched like a gaming community thing, which I guess is pretty small fry. To be fair, it's like it's literally they have a website link and you can like compete, and the winner of this of like a tournament. The ultimate winner will get like an all expenses paid trip to the Super Bowl. See, we're really scraping the barrel for a positive.
That's quite cool in a sense, but also it's not really esports.
No, I mean it is. It's competition, but yeah, I mean,
I guess.
I would say that was just a random fucking small little partnership activation thing.
Let's get the one other positive out of the way as well.
Go on.
And that is goals. So the eventual FIFA competitor has raised 20 mil, I think it is.
Yeah, and another 20 mil in the Series A. I think so. Up to now, it's like $39 million in total.
So obviously, we shouldn't. In esports, we've got a habit of celebrating raising money as opposed to, like generating revenue and profit. We tend to, brag about that. What are you drinking anyway? What's that?
Red wine. Sorry, carry on.
I thought it was like the blood of your nemesis or something like that.
It's got that in it as well.
Or if you're on like beet juice or something.
No, mate.
So like goals, some cool people leading it, cool concept of trying to make a fair football game that is not just fucked and just out to make all the money in the world.
Novel concept.
Effectively, in a world of eFootball, absolute shambles of a game, and FIFA or EA Sports FC, absolute shambles of a game. Like, this is promising, though obviously it's going to be a fucking mammoth task to like take down FIFA in any way. So maybe they can do it in the competitive realm, but not in the public realm, like general public realm. We'll see. Not to be negative, like congrats to them on that. I hope they can continue building good shit and bring out a successful competitive title. That'll be sick.
Sounds really cool. And like I was saying to you off air, like the idea of building a football game from the ground up based around like a high skill ceiling, which presumably it is, like something that you can get on, like you go on Rocket League if you play, even if you just play in Rocket League for fun with mates, or any game like that. Siege, that's a good example. Like the skill ceiling is dead high, the skill gap is really wide. Having a football game that's like that would be really sick if it took off. That would be sick. And like that model is obviously monetizable. Like you can microtransactions and pay.
Well, it's also an NFT game as well. I'm pretty sure, which they're not really speaking about much. But yeah.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that's how they led with it. It's like I can't remember now. It's been a long time since I wrote about it.
I didn't know that. That's
but
cool.
I'm pretty sure it has some crypto links. I can check while those things. But
I'm always skeptical about NFT/blockchain games. But I mean, if they do it in well, I mean, I like that I don't know about it. For example, if that's true, you know what I mean. I like that they've
not led with it recently. Yeah. I'm trying to find what it is. Maybe I've made that up. But it comes to mind.
So is it for like tracking match outcomes or something? So
who hopes to integrate NFTs, but has no at the moment speech. Obviously, it's going to be weird. Like they can't have like Man U and Chelsea and PSG and stuff in the game because of the licensing. Yeah. So you're going to have to like I think a big part of it is like in FIFA. Like getting the players you want, like the rare versions of them stuff, and selling them on the right. Like it's sick when you get a Messi or a Ronaldo or something. They're gonna have to like work around that somehow and make you care about the players in other ways. I guess attributes is gonna be the main thing, but you don't want it to create a pay to win aspect.
Could be a really cool opportunity for esports teams that get in that game early. Say if it's a successful game, if esports teams get in early, the esports orgs that do could maybe like stake a claim in that game and be a playable team in the game or something like that. Mm-hmm. That could be pretty funky.
Here we go. So it says it's going to be cross-play, which is interesting straight away. PC versus Xbox versus mobile, maybe type thing. That makes sense. Free-to-play, multiplayer first and esports ready. It'll use a play-to-earn model where time spent and skill in the game will be rewarded through digital assets. So more people hopefully can make a living playing the game. So I don't know if they'll unlock like rare boots and all that kind of shit, you know, where you get like the stickers and stuff in CS and you can trade it and maybe it'll be like that, but on chain, on blockchain. So,
right.
But the fact they're not leading with that, this is a feature of the game, but not the entire game. You know, all the entire premise of the game is like, oh, this is a Web3 game or a crypto game, you know? So it's cool.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Because I remember Dr. Disrespect's game at first, everyone was giving it a lot of shit because it was NFTs, and now they've got like a playable alpha where like Coldplay's has been playing it, Optic Plays, I think. The NFT aspects has mostly been forgotten about in that public conversation, and they just more care about how the game plays, which I think is the most important thing, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, positivity.
Yeah, good luck to him. And then now we're gonna fucking flame everyone else.
Well, do you think the Riot report is positive? Because I think I've got a negative take on it generally.
Of course you have.
Well, I read it yesterday. I was like, what is the fucking point in this absolute waffle? They've spent years saying fuck all to write a report that says, yeah, we like esports. Yeah, of course you're fucking saying that.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking
but
their actions, what was the point in it?
But their actions have also backed that up with Valorant, like, for sure. And they also addressed, I never really thought about it this way, but they also addressed, like, why it's challenging to incorporate team skins and stuff for such a global game with so many different franchise leagues. I thought that was pretty cool. Basically saying because there's like 100 teams in franchise leagues, like it's difficult to put teams in the game. So like where do you
that's why they only did 30 for the international leagues for Valorant.
Well,
that's also because they're giving money away for Valorant as opposed to taking money in for League of Legends. Because there's the stipend that they give to all the teams. There was no buy-in for the franchise, like partner teams in Valorant. So, of course, there's going to be less teams. They don't want to be fucking spending money on esports. Yeah. They're saying it's not a marketing activity. Of course it fucking is. It's all it is. You're not doing it because you like esports. Because you're going to lose money on esports as it is. It's a lost leading marketing exercise. That's genuinely what it is.
I mean, it is, yeah. But I think if there's an esports title that's worth the investment because it probably is getting close to like returning for the publisher, it's probably League. You know what I mean? It's a very impressive esport ecosystem. Like the viewership's sick, the engagement's sick.
The LCS is declining.
I agree. But I think that's
so viewership is not sick. Engagement
in the LCS, but elsewhere it's pretty sick, and it'll stay relevant for years. And the LCS, I'm pretty sure, like wasn't. I'm not saying this was the only reason, because the LCS is looking like it's pretty fucked at the moment. But like, their latest, like the final of one of the last event, whatever it was it spring? Or is spring still going? I don't even know. But that was on like a holiday weekend or something. Maybe that's like clutching at straws for an excuse as to why the viewership.
But like year on year or season on season, it's just been going down, mate. Like it's not good at all. Like they've changed the time slot, so it's competing with LEC, I think, and all sorts of shit. Like it's just on at weird times. And
no, I agree with that. By the way,
who gives a fuck?
I do
and then
agree.
Also another negative aspect of the LCS is, which we can loop back on the report in a bit, I think, but we can go into CLG, NRG, energy. They don't like NRG, they like energy. So the slot for an LCS partner team is worth a lot less in no time at all, is what we can take from this deal, by the way. Because EG bought in, Dignitas bought in, Immortals bought in, right? Through Optic and Echo Fox and Clutch Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
They spent 30 odd mil, like 20 or 30 odd mil dollars to get those spots. This time, CLG's been collapsed by MSG for a tiny bit of equity in energy. They're not going to give away much. Like, it could be worth 2, 3, 10 mil or something, but like they didn't buy the slot off of them. They just said, yeah, you can take a little bit of our company. Like, there's no way in hell they're giving away that much, because teams aren't worth as much as they actually claim to be worth anyway. We can see that now. Like, how much Forbes claims they're worth.
Yeah.
Like 200 odd mil or $1 billion for FaZe or whatever it may be. Like, it's all bollocks. Like, so for me, like, the slots have degraded in value over 2 years, 3 years, like dramatically as well. And that's obviously the state of esports somewhat as well. It's harder to sell a slot for a high amount when the industry's just fucked and no one can raise money and everyone's letting go of people to like keep afloat. But that's what it says to me.
I guess that's what someone might counter with, is like, even if the price is lower than what it would have been a few years ago, like that might still only be a temporary thing because of the market conditions. And then it's like, in a few years, what did Heretics? I'm trying to think now. Was Heretics the one that sold the slot or bought the slot in the LEC? They bought it. Wasn't that for like 30 mil? So I know that's not the LEC, LCS, but like,
different beast.
Yeah, they are very different. And in Europe, it's just so much more.
Viewership's better, international performance is better, the teams are generally better, the branding's better, the talent's better, even though I find the EU talent fucking cringe. They are just better. Even though like Ender's just dressing like an absolute maniac and they're bringing in guest people all the time. It's fresh, it's something interesting in the getting cross-promotion to get CS fans to watch because Machine's on. You've got Shocks in and out, like they've got legendary people there. Like they're doing a lot right versus
they've got
LCS.
Medic, the caster, who is one of my favourite casters in any title. He's fucking well good. Yeah, no, it's true. They are very different. But I think, I'm optimistic on League overall. But like getting back to the report, I don't know. I thought it was. I didn't feel like it was.
Did they say that was worthwhile? Besides, like,
well, I think a lot of it was just. A lot of it was like 1,500 words or 2,000 words or something, was just laying out like what people that know already knew. You know what I mean?
He said it took them 10 years to realise that esports shouldn't be run like sports. It took them 10 years to realise that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what they meant by that. I think they probably was on about like not emphasising digital, trying to probably focusing too much on media rights is probably what they meant, I presume. But that's a mistake.
I think also trying to sell tickets, considering most people just watch online for free.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a mistake a lot of people made. You know what I mean? It's not just Riot.
No, but still, like, you've got a whole, like, if it's everyone or if it's just Riot, the fact it took 10 years for them to realise that when they've been hosting events is mad to me. And also, I still partially think you can't really say you care about competition and then just run everything yourself. Don't allow anyone else to host anything.
Yeah, but they run it. But they run esports better than anyone. No, did you disagree with that?
In what sense? Is it a whole program or each event is better than any other event that goes on?
Just
like the way they treat teams, the revenue share, like
how they run ecosystems. Full stop. Like how they've done Valorant. has been spot on. How I just think they're the envy of anyone running an event in esports. Riot, they do it themselves and it's their game, and they smash it mostly.
Okay,
no, disagree. I think Riot are a top.
Probably.
I think as an operation with League and Valorant and whatever else, like they're a top company and they do it right.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, not many organizers or developers have a global game.
Yeah.
So they don't have a chance to do that as well. Like COD, if they tried launching a league in Japan, it's not going to go well, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like they don't run a program like that as well. I don't know. I know what you're saying, and yeah, I'm being a little bit harsh. I don't know. I just felt like the report said a whole lot of nothing realistically, or nothing of actual worth.
I think
the fact it's taking this long for them to come out and basically say we love esports is a madness. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, but again, though, my argument would be they've already shown you that they've loved esports with Valorant. Like they've done.
So what was the point in this then?
Well, you can argue there wasn't the point. It's just a blog post, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's not John Needham's fault.
15 different edits. It's been approved by 8 different people. Like this is serious messaging they're putting out for us.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but then it's also not my. It's like this with anything. To be fair, like with social media, like everyone, like our peers, for example, our little community of esports reporters and pundits, whatever. Like everyone felt like they had to say something about the blog post, and like there were a couple of notable things in there, like the virtual. I didn't really say much about it either. To be fair, not. I didn't make a point of not doing anything, but the virtual pass thing was pretty cool. But they could have led with that if you're being paid. I mean, I'd take it or leave it. I read it before it went live. I was sent it by him before it went live, and like I was reading it. I probably read like 2/3 of it. It didn't even reach the virtual pass bit, which I didn't realize. I fucking missed that. But the only important bit I didn't read. But yeah, I stopped reading it halfway through because I was like, I already know all this. So I agree. It's like you can argue it's pointless, but I don't have that big a problem with it. The virtual pass thing is pretty funky though. I'd be interested to see like how they do it. I don't know how much.
Can we explain what it entails to people who haven't read the blog post?
Yeah. So what does it entail? So it's basically.
Oh wow! I feel like a proper podcaster after saying that.
So I'm trying not to get it confused with something they said they might do in the future. Hang on, let me just double check before I butcher this.
Okay, and while you're looking, I will say we have changed all of our thumbnails, the way we title things. We're on the rise. We've got shorts.
Unbelievable.
I'm wearing shorts, and we've got YouTube shorts. In fact, I'm wearing shorts, and the YouTube shorts are quite short. More to come, more content. Consistency-wise, you get episodes when you get episodes. Be happy with that. This is your general Cyberathletics health update.
Should we launch merch, mate?
Yes, we're going to launch toilet roll. So you can throw it at Reckless, or you can wipe your ass with it, whichever you wish.
Fireplace, because we're always talking Doomer, fucking fire and brimstone. Right, okay, so the primary goals of the virtual pass, which is basically it starts for Worlds this year, and it's basically to give fans like an additional, like a better experience type thing. So
for Riot to make more money.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I wonder how much they'll charge for it, by the way. A rich online Worlds viewing experience, whatever that means, a bundle of products and services at a tremendous value, more ways to express their fandom and excitement. So presumably it's just like access to players in like a virtual setting, and Worlds merch, event pass, skin exclusive variant. I mean, exclusive skin variant, surely that means. But yeah, it just sounds like, so basically an initiative geared towards fans to like presumably just get more involved with Worlds, so like getting closer to players and stuff. And there was something I saw Hunter Cook was saying about, who's a reporter at Sports Business Journal. He was saying something about they've made it more difficult for like press conferences. I don't know, but I
think it's same with the virtual access, like there's less need for journalists because
right, yeah,
like they can just ask. But the thing is, they're not going to ask the questions that journalists are going to ask. If you're speaking with Reddit, exactly, oh, why did you decide to like black out your arm, or like what hair gel do you use? You know what I mean? It's just going to be that. Or like someone's going to ask about the inner politics at G2 during his time there if it's a journalist or something, you know what I mean? Or something relevant to what's going on at the moment. Yeah. As opposed to just being like, oh my God, I haven't really got a question. I just wanted to say I absolutely love your back tattoo. Like, it's my favourite character.
Yeah, that's true. That will be.
So, like, I don't really care too much. As long as there's still access to press, then we're good. And the people who run press at Riot are they're careful, but like they're decent enough to people, I'd say. Obviously, I still think they're the enemies of journalists, and I somewhat have a job in PR at this point, ish.
It's kind of true, that, isn't it? It's like a lot of journalists make that transition to PR, but it is true. Like your job reverses. It's like the inverse.
They want to spin things to make it as flattering as possible to the company, and journalists try to unspin it. And understand what it is effectively is what it is. Yeah. So I think once you understand like the role of the unspinning, like actually just spinning it is easy as out.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how can I make this seem like the company I'm working for, and this is not me, I'm speaking hypothetically, is full of absolute shitbags, effectively, or how do I make this seem like a big deal? Is effectively what it is, and it's our job to sniff out the bullshit is effectively what it were, you know? So,
that's a good point.
Yeah, it's like the two sides of the same coin, but so are like criminals and policemen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's very different things, even though they need each other ecosystem-wise. Like, they're entirely different
really
things.
Fucking hell, mate. This is profound. When are we starting our other podcast?
Well, obviously, I've been having existential crises about my ex-career as a journalist, you know. But no, I'm very happy to be outside of journalism, outside of esports, by the way, just for the record. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm happy to start a real-life podcast whenever, by the way. 100%.
Do you not miss being a journalist, even if it's not in esports? No. I thought you would have really enjoyed it.
For like 2 years.
Oh, fair enough. See, really? I love it, man. I absolutely love being a journalist.
But you're romantic about it, I think, a bit. Like, in a good way. Like, you love, like, journalism and, like, writing as well. Like,
but
I didn't care about writing.
I think I just enjoy it. Like, the digging and the researching. When you're onto something, by the way. Can't say anything, but I'm onto something. We'll see what it is in a few days, hopefully.
Ooh. Well, I still look into stuff and, like, question things in my own time. Time. Sorry, a bit of salad almost came up then. But like, it's almost more fun just to do it for the sake of it instead of like, oh, this could be a scoop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. And I see like the fucking politics of esports journalists at the moment, where there's two people who are just subtweeting each other and then also complaining about subtweets, and that kind of shit it just tires me out. And obviously, they've literally had a public beef in the past as well, so it don't fucking take 2 brain cells to work out who it is.
I so wish you would say who, because I actually don't know who you're talking about.
Kevin and Jacob.
Oh, really?
They
not really
because of something that happened at the Esports Awards, and then Kevin keeps tweeting about, like, subtweeting, and then Jacob keeps tweeting about the professionalism of journalists and stuff, and it's like, lads, just speak to each other, or just give up. Like, Kevin's like, oh, people subtweeting. I'm like, who? You're subtweeting right now, motherfucker.
I know. Kevin does that all the time. You're in your 50s.
Grow up. Let's just chat. You know what I mean? Or let's just ignore this shit and just carry on, because none of this really matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I see that stuff, and I'm like, one, I was glad I was outside of any real clique when I was in it. Mm-hmm. 2, I'm just glad to just be out of it and just like looking at it as if I like once every few days I like properly check out Twitter as if I'm on a safari, effectively. Just like, oh fucking a couple of absolute baboons over there, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, they're having a scrap for no reason, just flinging shit, but missing because they don't know they're not sharing their target. You know what I mean? It's, So. No, I don't really miss it too much, mate. I just enjoy doing the podcast. This is enough exposure for me in terms of like speaking on stuff, you know. Yeah. But we're 25 minutes in, so we'll keep this shit moving. We go to the more doomer side.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Heroic is probably not going to see the year out. Danish organization smashing it in CS:GO. They basically were begging people to give them money so they could see it through the summer. they had to reduce the offer that they were giving out, and then eventually got less than $1 million, which will keep them going until I think see them through summer 2023, and they've got to figure something out from there. So they've either got to basically sell themselves mad short in terms of like selling better shares for not a lot of money just to keep going, or they need to cut teams, and I guess I don't know what they're like staff wise.
When you hear or see the Heroic like brand, what do you think of? What does it evoke in you?
Nothing really. It's just it doesn't have any sort of feeling. Like you think of Optic, you get strong senses of like there's like there used to definitely be like prestige involved. You get the feeling of legacy. You get the shooter vibe straight away. FaZe, you think of just absolute divs, just
pricks,
flicking windows and punching each other.
Yeah. G2.
G2, you get like just like meme lords, just divs, like but like purposeful divs. So it's kind of cool.
But it makes you think of these. Every brand you just said, like it makes
you at least get something.
Yeah, you get something. Yeah.
Even like K Corp, stuff like that, you get feelings. Rogue is another one where you don't get out. There's a few like it where there's not really anything there. For me, there's no real like brand identity.
Well,
and I don't follow Heroic closely, but like there's nothing really there. Like I know they got bought out by the organization got bought out, right? And maybe the people running now just haven't quite figured out what brand identity means, which is fun when you're playing with millions and millions of dollars, and trying to build basically a sports team, which is all on brand identity and performance. So yeah, not much, mate. I just think of CS:GO. I guess I think of KD and having a cry. Like, basically,
literally, mate. When I think the only thing I think is like KD and Counter Strike, and also actually, funnily enough, Danish, but they're not even fucking Danish. Or they're like, I don't know that because I wrote this in a ESI article like a couple of months back or a few months back. It was like Danish esports org Heroic, but it turns out they're actually not. I think they're based in like Norway or Sweden or something.
I think Norway, yeah.
Why do I think?
Well, at one point it was part of like the Refresh roster, where it was like Refresh owned like Astralis, Heroic, and like I think Godsent were part of it as well. Last, so it was Danish, but like now I think it's Norway based. Even though they've got a Danish team, right?
Yeah.
So CS.
So like it does speak to like one of the wider challenges of esports. I asked someone who I was interviewing the other week or the other day, are there just too many orgs? Like, do you think there are just too many? Because the industry is actually not that big, but there are loads of teams everywhere you look. So a team like Heroic, if you're not gonna, you need to give. I always say this: you need to give fans a reason to fucking give a shit. Like you either need to be, you need to be ran by. You either need to just have a really strong brand that you've been building up for the last 10 years, which is global. Like G2 is pretty global, FaZe is pretty global, another couple, like odd ones like that. But besides that, you either need to be based in a location, give people a reason to care through that, like that kind of tribalism, or you need to be owned by like a fucking influencer. And that's why people care. That's at least why people start to care. It's like you've got 100 Thieves. The reason they're so well followed, obviously, is Nadeshot. You've got K Corp with Kometo. You've got Koi with, is it Ebuy?
Ebuy, yeah.
And they're all like, they're also location based as well. Like, and then you got Brazilian.
Well, they're almost like framed as a national team, even though there are other teams there, like Heretics as well with Spain. Like they've got the rabid like national fan base, even though there are competitors there. But like in America, there's too many. For example, like you know what I mean, like FaZe or Optic. Neither are they're North America is kind of big enough to have multiple teams, I guess. But I wouldn't say there are too many teams. I'd say there's too many average and amateur-esque teams in a sense of like they're not doing it to stand out at all. They'd be better working together, combining brain cells and stuff, which is what version 1 are trying to do. Obviously version 1
they literally
the Minnesota folks full, Minnesota Rocker,
they went full let's reach out to the press and find a fucking,
which is a bold strategy. I remember United when they went on their spree of trying to make something happen and failing 3 times in a row, they like pitched mergers with Optic and stuff like that. Like I scooped that. I got the document for that. Never happened. And then they were going to get reverse taken.
Which org was that? Sorry,
United. Yeah, before that went to shite.
Interesting.
They was going to go reverse takeover, go public at one point. I'm pretty sure I'd get acquired, but like that fell through as well. Like just every time they tried to make something happen. At one point, they were going to be bought out by the guy who pretended to be buying out Outlaws, where he said like he had Elon Musk and The Rock as investors. If you remember that.
Is this the guy
Lee Zeben? I'm pretty sure Zeben.
Not the one that Jacob and Kevin wrote a piece about. Do you remember?
No, different. No, but like they were reporting on him at the time. But yeah, this is a fellow who basically was DMing folks saying like, "Hey, do you want to invest so we can buy Outlaws? I've got The Rock and Elon Musk and blah blah blah." blah. Like, absolute bollocks. But I think United was part of the plans at that point. But regardless, like there's just too many teams like that. Like they need to come together. They were at least pitching. Whereas version 1, yeah, literally, who was it in an interview with?
Digiday, Alex
Lee,
yeah. Alex Lee.
Friend of the show. It's been on the
friend
pod.
of the show. Good friend.
There we go. Yeah. So they're looking to merge else. Like,
can I just say, we're at the point where we're saying friend of the show. I love it.
I know.
One of my favorite
people
podcasts.
We had on Dom and Alex.
Dom, Alex. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? I think. Wow, we need another guest. That's a good.
Who do you want on? Should we get Kevin on Jacob?
Yeah, just tee him up. Just you tee fucking Jacob up. I'll tee Kevin up and just like, right, come on, what's your divided?
But yeah, we can get someone on. I've maybe changed the topic a bit away from like current affairs to just something topic based and not be super neggy the whole time. Yeah, but I'll be involved, so it will be super neggy some of the time. So yeah, V1 Minnesota Rocker version 1, like seemingly doing okay. Like they have like a decent fan base, but it's almost regional in a sense, right? And they've got content creators and stuff, and like they're in Rocket League, which they built up a decent fan base in and stuff, right? And Valorant as well. They've been doing okay there, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, watch this space. The fact you have to go to the press and do it, I don't know what that says. I don't know if you're just getting ahead of the conversations, just to put the intent out there for everyone before approaching the people you'd like to work with or what. But that doesn't I don't fill me with too much hope in a sense, but also maybe this is them just realizing, we'd be stronger working. Well, we've seen how Optic and Envy have gone, and we like that. Maybe we could do the same with someone.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it. I'm interested why they went to Alex and to Digiday to do it rather than just reaching out to. But maybe it's just quicker. I don't know. Maybe it's just like instantly everyone's going to take notice of this. This is what we're unabashedly. This is what we want to do. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it. And yeah, they seem to be run pretty well, don't they? Weren't they like world champions in Valorant? Like, weren't they like one of the first world champions in Valorant? I swear
not
they
world
were.
Champion, no.
No, version 1, no.
Right. Certainly not.
They were. I think they might have been runner up then if they weren't world champion. No.
They've done decent, but no. It's basically been Optic and Loud, and then Fnatic won most recently the lock-in event.
Interesting.
Look, I'm flexing esports knowledge that no one knows I have, because I'm not even convinced myself at this point now. I feel like I may be straight capping.
Dear Christ. Sorry, viewers, I've just got to look.
We've got probably 6, 7, 8 other little talking points first. So
go on then. Let's go.
You stay. Okay. So what we're establishing there is I was right.
About what?
The V1 Valorant thing.
Yeah, that's fine. You were right. Yeah,
okay.
That's fine. I don't know why I thought.
I
swear, version 1. Fuck knows, mate. Maybe someone will like comment and tell me that I was actually not far off.
Next one, we can brush straight past this. Respawn, they do gaming chairs and gaming desks and stuff. The person who was basically running that before is now running Luminosity. They've been acquired. Woo. There's too many peripheral gaming brands. No one really cares. Next one, Astralis financial report. Looking stronger. CSGO team is imploding, and that's their flagship team. So I don't know.
Still, this is again though the difference with like someone like Heroic, who I've got a good brand in Counter-Strike to be fair, but like Astralis is building like an iconic brand in that title.
What do you think of when you think of Astralis?
CS:GO dominance, mate, like dynasty. In Counter-Strike, obviously, not in League or FIFA. Although I don't think they've done bad in FIFA, to be fair.
No, but
who cares about who gives a fuck about FIFA?
Absolute chisel, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's not ideal. So, yeah, as far as I'm aware, I haven't had a proper good look, but like I think they're basically closing the gap between like wasting money and actually trying to make money. Like they were always doing decent on the sponsor front, I think, personally. And yeah, they're kind of one of the national team-esque things that was on about before, where they've got a lot of national fans. Though I do think, not making the major does not
also,
look good.
if they missed the major, yeah. Wow.
I'm pretty sure they missed the major, yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me because it's coming up, isn't it? It's like
and they lost to like Config, who was playing for NIP, and obviously he was at Astralis. Got kicked out because I think he can't help but scrap people when he has a drink.
That whole situation,
I'm pretty sure
they've
missed it. But so Dupree is the only person to go to every CS:GO major.
Wow, that's a fucking
he went to Vitality.
What an achievement! Yeah, that's lit.
Yeah, and I've got like the number 19 in my mind, but I can't. There's no way it's been 19 majors. Maybe 12.
Like
well, actually, it might be because the games
wasn't it like 2012
for a long time now, and there's 2 every year, right? So
yeah, I mean, might be to be fair. He was at TSM,
one for like the ESL major, ESL Rio major because of COVID. But so yeah.
Hey, I don't want to derail us too much, but what Richard reported on with the whole fucking Hunden and Astralis and Heroic, was it Heroic?
Yeah. Yes.
That is mad, mate. That is, like, what a fucking piece of shit.
Well, Astralis are pieces of shit as well.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, Astralis knew as well, didn't they? It seemed like they really.
I read the first 2 reports. I don't know how many came out. 3, 4.
4. I think. Yeah, I think it was like a 4-part thing.
I read some of them, and basically, like they were courting him while he's at Heroic and got. And we'll help it. Like they were always going to sign him, even though he was a convicted like cheater at that point.
And he was at Heroic giving
strats, but they were never viewed by the coach. Technically, I believe is what the evidence was there. Like the coach never accessed the file or the files.
Interesting. There's got to be a fucking.
So that sounds like Hunden was trying to do it off his own back to like get good graces with Astralis.
Open in incognito. Must have.
Well, it's Google Drive, so I don't know if you can do that.
No, you probably can't. But
you have to be signed in. It was only shared with that one with the coach and stuff, I think.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, still messy and points to like absolute fuckery on their behalf. Like they've definitely declined in terms of like stature and professionalism and whatever. I mean, they've been like Richard and Thorin have been exposing their bullshit for a long time now, really. So like they're not as great as they've appeared. Like they've been carried by the CS:GO team's success, obviously. If that team was underperforming, the brand would be nowhere near what it is. So they've been carried hard, but now like it's definitely falling from grace, in my opinion.
Aren't they? They're looking at delisting, aren't they? Which, by the way, I think that would be a smart decision. But...
A strategic review, I believe, is what it was named. So I don't know what comes from that. Maybe that is the smart point because I mean, it's not like they're like particularly smashing it. And they're on like a branch of Nasdaq. It's like the First North, I think it's called, or something.
Right.
Which I think is just like a Nordic branch
and
of Nasdaq.
It just seems like unwanted scrutiny. Do you not think? Like being public as an esports company at the moment, like if you can just go private and just be in the shadows a little bit, hunker down, not have to share every single thing every year.
If you've got access to the funds,
then
and you could think they could still get some money.
Yeah.
No doubt. They could still get money from Danish somewhere, or the government or somewhere.
Yeah.
To be honest, I wouldn't be fucking surprised. But yeah, so Astralis looking better, but still obviously is a way to go before it's sustainable and profitable. Got GameSquare complexity going on the Nasdaq. We've already kind of covered that. Like, I don't think it's a good time for it personally. They're obviously betting on being more than just an esports team with complexity. They've got the production company and apparel and all that shit around it. So and creators with Tim the Tapman and Cloaksy and stuff. So and Ninja. I'm pretty sure I saw him in the photo as well.
Right. Oh yeah, isn't he like a co-owner?
So he probably has like a small amount of share, same as Tim and Cloaksy.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
that one kind of slipped under my radar until I saw his big blue head, just like in the Nasdaq photos where they're ringing the bell or whatever, and they were buzzing. So we've got FaZe Clan potentially facing delisting. We don't need to harp on that too much because we have discussed FaZe Clan ad nauseum as of late. But
yes, we have.
Absolute shit show. There's kind of a mutiny going on right now where like Banks and Co. Like they were teasing like what seemed to be like a their run thing, or like either they were coming back to take control, or they were gonna fuck FaZe off and create something new. Like all the originals, we've got Apex and Temper and Banks and whoever else.
What's Banks
Tico, Rain.
Banks going to launch a fucking
tweeted,
edibles range on the blockchain.
They're gonna like save the FaZe kids, new crypto coin. But no, like and then Banks tweeted a couple of days ago, I'm pretty sure, saying something like, "The suits don't know what FaZe is. You either have to bring us back to control things, or this brand will go to zero." And I'm like, "You're the one who fucking sold control, like." What did you expect?
Yeah, did he? Yeah, I'm trying to. I can't even remember now.
Yeah, like Campbell basically came in, like Lee Trink and stuff came in,
and he's like the biggest brand risk ever. he's just a dickhead, mate. Like, why is he?
I'm Banks, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if he's coming out and saying like you need to give me control again, it's like whoa, settle down on them. Temper in them, maybe, but like.
Yeah.
Rain's going to try and expose us at every step. Tico's had a cry now. Temper's just been chilling, getting knocked out in boxing. Like, yeah, maybe I'll let him in a bit. You know what I mean? But otherwise, yeah, it's shaky over there, man. And yeah, like they're facing delisting and stuff, right? I think, did FaZe do something good in esports recently?
Yeah, they won in CS, didn't they?
Or did they win? Because I think their stock went up, or the share price went up because they did well in esports, but I can't think what they won. But I think they did win some.
They won the Grand Slam not long ago.
Oh yeah, I am Grand Slam, of course. Yeah. What tournament was that based on? Do we know? What was the last one they won? I can't remember.
Pro League.
Okay, you can see how disconnected I am from esports at this point because normally I would know that. But yeah, so they won the Grand Slam, which is an extra milli for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that helped the share price, but like that's only, temporary.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that's not fixing the brand at all.
No, it's not, and most of that 1 mil is going to go to the players anyway. So,
and like people like Banks speaking out against FaZe is not going to do any favors to the company's money and financial standing effectively at this point now, because they've put themselves in a position where like negative press can affect them. So if their like founders and co-founders are coming out and saying FaZe is fucked, that's not a good sign. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose, try and tank shit and make them take it private again, which seems is going to be the case, and then try and reobtain some sort of control.
It would be the biggest fail.
But they've always claimed leadership-wise, like a few of those boys have always had a big say in what FaZe does, right? I'm pretty sure Legions always said that and stuff, like the original, like Temper and Banks and stuff. I think they've always maintained the fact that they have a big say in what goes on, but I think that's a charade. Like, obviously, and if not, they shouldn't be controlling a public company because they don't have business experience like that. So one way or the other is not great.
And it's so tough as well because a lot of this stuff is just it's going to stay private because they're a public company. No, people are going to be even less likely to talk to, say, a journalist sniffing around or whatever. So, like, you're never going to really know how involved these creators are until, say, in a few years when it settles down, FaZe is private again, whatever. That's when you'll find out most of it.
I'm interested to hear what the fuck's going on there, but it don't look great.
Yeah,
again.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. They're going to do a reverse share swap or whatever it is. Like I said on the last one, and they're going to consolidate shares, get the share price back up, or they're just going to go private again. Fucked.
Either way, they need to do something like that. Because they won't be on Nasdaq for too much longer. So, as an Indian collegiate esports company called Mobile Global Esports, which I saw reported by James Fudge, where basically they're losing lots of dosh and also face delisting from Nasdaq. That's all I have for you on that one.
Next. Happening loads.
Gfinity is restructuring because it keeps losing multiple millions of pounds. And they're finding more success in hosting events as partners for like motorsport companies, and I think like maybe some Middle Eastern company to partner with, like Saudis or something. Abu Dhabi something or other, Abu Dhabi Motorsport Company or some shit. But yeah, they're basically restructuring. Who knows what that really means? But they own some media companies like publications. They don't really do many esports events unless it's white label at this point. So they're losing millions. Enthusiast Gaming, which obviously is behind Luminosity, Vancouver Titans, Seattle Surge, and then a bunch of publications like gaming media companies and such, lost $56 million in its latest financial year, so the 2022 financial year. But they led with all positive stats and left out this one, of course, except for in the actual financial report. So still bragging about like breaking records for themselves and like on path to sustainability, but losing $56 million in 1 year.
Yeah,
like,
it's very normal for a public company to do that, though. They always puff it up, don't they? It's always like you read a
that's
report
PR for you, baby.
Yeah, you're gonna get them pumping it. But
like, yeah, if you can choose to not speak about the loss and say we've increased revenues 100% or whatever, you're gonna, aren't you? Because like the hack journalists are just gonna copy what you basically put in the headline and the bullet points.
Yeah,
like not many people are gonna delve through the actual financial report and go, "Oh, this all looks good," but like you've lost $56 million, fam. You know what I mean? So again, doesn't look good there. I haven't looked at the report, and I don't know if it's this granular, but where the majority of the losses are coming from, whether it's the media company side or the esports team side.
Yeah,
I would say both.
Yeah, and I think, God, yeah, you've just got like bird's eye view with Enthusiast. You've got two franchises, two of the least enviable franchises in esports. Like,
certainly,
I said, the Call of Duty League actually is doing a lot better than it has done in the past in terms of viewership, and like people like COD. I enjoy COD a lot, and I think you do as well. But like, it's still a massive loss maker, surely, and they've already paid the fat franchise fee. Same with the Overwatch League. What the hell is happening there? That's another one we could touch on. The Chengdu Hunters or something.
Chengdu, yeah.
Basically, I'm pretty sure not going to be in the Overwatch League.
Do you know why that is?
Go on.
They fucked up NetEase and Activision Blizzard's partnership, man. They couldn't operate in China. Chengdu Hunters, Chinese team.
I did think that before, actually. Yeah, right. Interesting.
That's what that is. It's Activision Blizzard's fault. They basically cocked one of their fucking franchises.
Yeah, Jesus.
Oh! Because Riot Games wouldn't do that.
That's
yeah, like the license ran out, or like there was some fallout between NetEase and Activision Blizzard, right? Which
and they've been sending fucking indirects, mate. They've been doing Kevin Hitt and Jacob Wolf tackle. The CEO of NetEase or something, he posted some. I can't remember what it was now.
Can't trust these snakes, bro.
Oh yeah.
Careful who you let into your circle. Just some absolute bollocks.
I don't know what. I'd butcher that. I'm not a fucking. Oh man, I'm not a games journalist, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. Yeah, man. I can't remember what we were saying. Fuck it. Who cares?
Overwatch. Before that, it was COD League. You were saying because of Enthusiast. But basically, like ad revenue, not great.
I was going to say not great. That's what I was going to say. I was speaking to a guy that's like, I interviewed a guy for a piece I wrote called Nikhil Thadani, I think his name is, and he's like a consultant to investors and stuff. Like, really knows what he's on about. And I was asking him about Enthusiast, and I think he said like, yeah, one thing to bear in mind is like not only esports is obviously in a dip, but also the ad market and most of what Enthusiast does is like they own different websites that, like you were saying before, is just like content farms, like or click farms, I guess.
I actually said that off air.
Yeah, I think you did. So I was supposed to say that or something.
It's pure doxing me and my hot take. But it's true.
Yeah, so basically the ad market's fucked is what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's another reason why they've probably taken a hit. But yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to like really deep dive. I promise you, by like this time next year, I'm gonna come on Cyberathletics. That's just leave the sentence there. I'm gonna come on I'm gonna come on Cyberathletics. I'm gonna be able to read a report. I'm going to come and I'm going to be like, right, here's what it means. Bang, 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 bang. I'm going to be like proper financial journalist. That's one thing that's missing in my oeuvre.
I would say the one short-sighted element of that prediction or manifestation.
You're not going to. No, yeah, I'm forcing you to keep going if that's what you're going to say.
He's like, "It's a good. Who knows what'll happen with the pod, mate? You never know."
Yeah, you're taking the piss. We're about to get acquired by One Free Nation or whatever they're fucking called.
Last Free Nation.
No, right, even worse than
One Tree Hill or One Direction or whatever it's called.
Last Free Nation. God,
No, we're about to get assassinated by the Saudi government, mate. Is what's actually going to happen. More than likely. Oh, it's nice to come onto a podcast and not have to discuss the Saudi acquisition, by the way.
Oh, wait. No, I'm joking. I don't know.
They've slowed it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just not been announced
I suppose. Yeah, I'm sure they're working on loads of shit.
Yeah. But give me a personal update to close things out. How are you doing? How are things? What's your favourite piece of work in recent times?
Oh, my God. I'm well.
Because you've been putting out some good stuff, man.
Thanks, mate.
For a change?
Well, yeah. Well, I put that G2 one out. I interviewed Alban. That was
they
fun.
claim to have been profitable for the past 2 years.
Yep. But yeah, they showed me proof of 2021, and then the rest is just like kind of taking their word for it. Yeah, that was fun. It was decent. I was hoping you would get like Carlos saying something about it, but
nah, he's beyond that now, isn't he?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
he's too busy talking about like I need 17 Bugattis.
Yeah, there was one thing I should have asked them and I didn't, and I definitely I think his name Tim Masters is like a journalist in esports. He said
he's an absolute dick.
Well, he said, and he is a good point. Basically, like what share? Because when I heard what Alban told me, like Carlos is a minority shareholder now. He doesn't have anything to do with like company decisions. All that's true. But I just presumed that like that meant he had like 5% or something like that. But it's probably a bit more than that. And I should.
Well, yeah, because like, who owns the majority now?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah, that's a good point. That's what I mean. So that's something in hindsight. It's just a bad error. Like I should have made sure I nailed him on that.
You're probably gone to it knowing the kind of stuff you wanted to hear about, and maybe just the Carlos bit wasn't the bulk of it, really. I don't know.
The Carlos bit was like that was.
But they're never going to speak directly on Carlos.
Yeah, well, we had a decent chat about Carlos like for quite a while, but it was just like he told me all this like he's lost all his privileges as founder, yada yada yada, and like I said, all that is true. But I should have said even after the interview, I should have followed up and said like, oh, you said he's now a minority shareholder and that's it, and like he has nothing to do with the org. What percentage does he have? Because if it's like 30%, then it's pretty significant, obviously.
He still has a big say in what goes on, basically, if he works with other minorities.
He's
still involved in meetings.
Exactly, yeah, he could be. I mean, he said the level of communication is minimum, and he'll get the same communication as like other minority shareholders, which is like basically quarterly announcements and things like that, or like quarterly meetings maybe. So I just kind of took him at that. But in hindsight, is it a big problem? I don't really know. Maybe I should have just asked the question. And I did follow up recently, actually, with their PR. So I'll update on the Twitter feed if they get back to me.
Well, they're not going to give you the truth. So
yeah, probably not. Well, but that'd be a story in itself, no? You know what I mean? If they don't reply, or if they refuse to say.
Yeah, man. But that's it. I think was just talking. I asked about like how things are going for you, your favorite piece of work and stuff, and you say you're looking into something at the moment, and you think it'll be a report in a few days.
Oh yeah.
Is it a big juicy one?
It's something. Yeah, it is actually. No one's done a report on it. It's stuff that like people have heard rumors about. There have been rumors about it, but no one's written a full report with like details and verification and shit. Yeah,
I will guess after we click stop recording.
Okay. I don't think you would, but we'll see.
Oh,
maybe.
I don't know if you know me well enough to know that makes me want to ask until I get it right.
Yeah, but I actually don't want to tell you even if you get it right.
That's fine.
I mean, I'll tell you the topic, but not like what it is. You know.
I'm not going to try and outscoop you by any means.
No, I know you're not.
Just so you're aware, mate.
I know you're not. I just fucking. It's out soon, so I'm just
I may start a newsletter.
That's
an esportsy newsletter. Is all I have for you.
Yeah, go on. I told you this ages ago. Yeah, no, you should. People would read that shit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think it's just going to be my opinions. I don't care about my opinions enough for that. So it has to be something with value. Preferably where people want to eventually give me money. So because I'm not doing it, I'm not going to do it for free forever. Same as this fucking podcast. If people don't get to 1,000 subscribers and that's so we can monetize, like, what are you doing?
I know.
You want us sat here speaking for an hour in our own free time?
We need some sponsors, mate.
I will speak to Freeze Pipe, the bong brand that currently is sponsoring Thorin and stuff at Last Free Nation.
Really?
I think it's Freeze Pipe it's called, yeah.
Shit.
I think it's bong, or it's something to do with weed, at least. Maybe they sell, like, the iced weed. Instead of that fire pack, they've got that cold pack, bro.
Whatever floats your boat.
That shit just freezes your lungs. I don't know. But yeah, I'll start outreach and say, do you want to sponsor a podcast that gets 600 views max each episode? Maybe 700.
Our sell would just be everyone that watches our videos is like pretty high up. Most, not everyone, but most. At these companies.
I don't know how true that is anymore, man. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It could just be you refreshing the video 100 times, you know? I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, we're quite closely aligned to like. We're recommended on like Andrew Tate videos, aren't we? I fucking hope we're not. I swear you sent me something.
Yeah, only the one where we literally did a video about Andrew Tate.
Oh, right.
Because he was in the title, thumbnail, tags, all that shit. Yeah. It's not normal. It's not normal, fam.
I'm right or good. That's a good thing. Jesus.
I could only wish to be featured next to another prominent bald man, but alas, I am not edgy enough for that shit.
I'm not courageous enough to shave my head fully. Not yet, anyway. Yes!
And with that,
love that.
We are gone. We are gone.
I'm going watching Man United at the pub.
I'm going to go
peace out.
Edit this and then walk while it's exporting. Living a life.
Thank
you all for watching, listening, crying, laughing with us. Don't dob us in for anything we've said. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.